When you live in a gargantuan metropolis such as Krung Thep Mahanakhon, Bangkok, the city of angels, the big mango, the big cock, BKK, it's difficult, you might think, to achieve peace and serenity. You just want a nice quiet day, you want to go outside and you want to smell the roses, so to speak. But you know what? It's really, really easy. If you're familiar with only certain areas downtown, you're going to think to yourself, come on mate, there is no peace and quiet in Bangkok outside, but it's really, really easy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve peace and serenity in any Thai area, non-tourist area in Bangkok. The first thing you have to do to achieve peace and serenity in Bangkok is to go out when local people don't go out. Typically, Thai people are exercising in parks and open spaces early in the morning from about 5:30 until about 9 o'clock, and then again in the afternoon from about 4. If you come here about 11:30, midday, you're gonna have the place to yourself. And I'm not talking about necessarily tourist parks in the middle of town, Lumpini, the Green Lung, anywhere like that. I'm talking about any area where loads of whiteys don't live, and that's the most of Bangkok. That's 98% of Bangkok. Stick a pin in a map, go there, zoom in on Google Maps, find a green space, because you know what? The park situation in Bangkok is really quite incredible. I know since the late 90s when I got here, there was the governor at the time was called, I think, Pitchin, and he was really pushing for parks, pocket parks, big parks, small parks, but parks in local neighbourhoods. It's continued to chug along this whole park building thing, and again over the last 5 years it's really kicked in and parks are literally coming up everywhere. I was in Bangkok the other day, there were a couple of parks. I went up the road to Bung Kan where they're building the wetlands place, and there are literally 3 or 4 parks over a 4-kilometre, 5-kilometre stretch, all joined together by parkland, canals and that sort of thing. And pocket parks, literally every neighbourhood has a pocket park now. And do you know what? The other benefit of coming here at this time of day, look, you see the local wildlife. Now he's quite far away there, maybe I'll try and zoom in here. Some parks, those monitor lizards are absolutely everywhere, but you know what? The park I'm in today, or the park I'm in, you rarely see them, and if you're gonna have to come midday. Look, it's only a wee fella. Pick a park, pick the correct time of day, job's a good one. And a lot of these bike parks, especially on the edge of town, these are still, officially these are still roads, not really used, they were back roads. And often what is utilised as a park used to be either or still is, a reservoir, or one of the infamous monkey cheeks. And I'd suggest this area was exactly like that, a monkey cheek area, because there's a clong going in there, one coming out over there, one over there, another one over in that corner of the park, and another one there. So this is one of those areas that you can release water or retain it depending on the flood situation. But come to a place like this, like I said, middle of the day, and you have it to yourself. Honestly, you could even go out to somewhere like Ramanine Park, which you can get a SkyTrain almost all the way there now. But again, if you go there 11:30, 12, most of the gardeners are going to be in the shade or asleep, and you won't see anyone. These are weaver birds, or golden weavers, and they have those beautiful hanging baskets that you see. Sometimes they're just for a couple, sometimes they include their kids, or maybe they're swingers, because some of them are like 2-bedroom duplex apartments. It's incredible. It's like basket weaving, but better. I've noticed this in a couple of the outlying parks over the last couple of weeks. Clearly they're preparing for a lot of rain, because all of these areas have been drained. I'll show you in a minute, there's big fields that have been drained, and for example this clong here often comes up to the tree line, so that's down about a metre. Look at these guys on top of the tree, look. If you want to see the storks and the bird life like this, you've got to come around midday, because they know there aren't any people, so they sit up there waiting to fish. Doesn't matter what time of year I can come month by month, and this changes all the time. It's lucky, this particular place, they probably have 3 crops a year, because they have constant access to water. A lot of places such as places in Isan don't have that luxury of the access to the water, so unfortunately they only get 1 crop a year. It's one of the many reasons they're not so well off up there in Isan, is the water source. If you're lucky enough and you live in Isan, you're close to a water source, you might get 2 or 3 crops a year. Guy just drove his car up here, stopped and leant out the window in English, and honestly in this area you don't hear it much, and in perfect English said, "Excuse me sir, would you like to go to Wariparom Park?" I said, "No, I'm okay, I'm just walking, I've got to walk because I'm fat, I need to lose weight." See, if you had whiteys in the park, it would be like in Pattaya, they would have their tops off, fat jiggling everywhere walking down here. But Thai people want to protect themselves from the sun. Like that dude's got a whole jacket on. Often when people work outside here, they wear jackets or long sleeves, protect them from the fierce rays of the sun. Look, don't often see dogs around here, but hello. Who's a good boy? See, every dog in the world just wants to be told they're a good boy. I don't know if he is a good boy, but I bet he is. You a good boy? Hiya. If I had some food, I'd give it to you, mate. You want to come for a walk? Follow me. This chap used to live in the middle of a rice field until this bike park came. This lake or pond here usually is covered with netting to try and stop the birds from fishing. They usually find a way through, but as you can see, there's no fish in there at the minute, but the birds are still there. I presume they're eating snails. I mean, a lot of birds. There's the skateboarding BMX track over there. It's a big pump track, and hills and jumps and all that. I sometimes like to sit up the top there. It's a lovely view over the fields. I would just like to say as well, big thank you to my subscriber Bruce Wayne. Not his real name, he's not the real Batman, although sometimes I'd rather suspect he might be. Anyway, he said if I got to 4,000 subs he's going to get me a drone. He sent some money and he said basically spend it how you want. Now the thing is, my financial situation at the minute, I could go out and get a drone, and then really I can't afford to go anywhere, so it's having a drone and not going anywhere. I think my channel is going to be better served is by using the money to make more content, go to a few more places, maybe go on a road trip over the next week or two, and just try and make it a really content heavy road trip. So as always, thank you very much, Bruce Wayne, and I shall dedicate the entire road trip to you, my friend. Cheers. You can fashion pumps here out of pretty much any old engine you've got still lying around that can be reconditioned. You've got all these here that oxygenate the water at the moment. I can't see all the feeding stations, so maybe they're not breeding fish at this time of year. But it's a big fish breeding area. In fact, MBOR, we're at just outside MBOR now, but that originally translates, I think, to City of Fish. Not many birds today. There's a sole cormorant over there on the stick. I'm sure none of you remember, but I did make a video here once called The Great Pelican Hunt, and the pelicans were there. I chased them, but I just couldn't get close enough to get any decent footage. Oh, hello. It's a bit of a big monitor lizard, isn't it? It's officially still a road back there into the back way into the park, and will be opened up again soon with the building of the old people's home. That's the lake there where the pelicans usually are. Goes on for about 1 kilometre up there and around the corner. And I think they might be the same pelicans that live pretty much in Safari World. They don't belong to Safari World, but they've always gone there and been fed fish, etc. Because they're not too far away from there. Naughty rascals. And this right here is a massive retirement village, old people's home. Definitely one for people with money. I interviewed a guy the other day and he was actually saying that's one of a good idea for this country is international retirement homes for foreigners, as it is a wonderful place to live and a lot cheaper or more affordable than Europe or America. Anyway, I've been on at this honestly since, I'm going to say 4 years now. Beautiful place to have a retirement home, right in the middle of the rice fields, and as you can see, well, they've drained water the other side where they're at a different stage of the harvest. Look, this side. Totally different stage. Do you know what? I'm making the wrong videos. There's a bird down in Pattaya who made a video about getting her fanny waxed. 40 million views. I tried to make one on mental health, tried to make a helpful video, 100 views. Go figure. I guess that's the state of the world we live in though, isn't it? Watch me get my fanny waxed. Watch me get my muff plated. 45 million views. The other good thing about having total peace and quiet like this, I can bang onto this camera without feeling really cringy. Anyway, I might as well take this opportunity as well to give a big thanks to Gary Butler, aka the Roman Cook, aka the Roman Dad, for his generosity. I saw he listed something on Facebook Marketplace a little while ago. It's a real cheap microphone, older microphone. I said, oh, I could do with that. So I messaged him and he said, do you know what? So I messaged him and he said, you know what, I've got a much better one, you can have it for free. I thought, wow, okay, very generous. So I looked on Lazada, 11,500 baht. Anyway, I've got that. I got the TRS lead for it and I've got it all sorted out, and I'm ready to test that out and use it over the next couple of days. But I just want to say a massive thanks. You didn't have to do that, mate. That was a really kind thing to do, a really decent thing to do. I just want to say thanks. I've got something for you, mate, very special gift. I mentioned to you last time I saw you, didn't I? But I shall dig that out, mate. And next time I see you, I'll give that to you, mate. Anyway, thank you very much, because it's easy to say, it's easy to slag YouTubers off, isn't it? All these people running about doing this, that and the other. But you know what, just this once, actually a lot more than once, people do help each other out. Anybody wants my help over anything at all, give me a shout. I don't mind. I'm really happy to do that. I'll make a video with anybody, I'll help anybody out. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Most people don't want to make a video with some old geezer. Anyway, bit long-winded as usual. That's me, long-winded wonders. Anyway, thank you very much. Whilst you're not going to be getting any videos over the next few months about me bejazzling my fucking arsehole, I've got to put the morals aside for a minute. For example, if I see a barber or a hairdresser with massive tits and they're half out, I'm in that chair filming. Expect boobies soon. Oh, I should call this video cycling in Bangkok. No, wait. I should call this video riding in Bangkok. Excuse me. Riding birds in Bangkok. Think that might be the suitable moment. I'm going to say to read my poem, but it's not my poem. I just saw a quote by someone and it felt really fitting to me. Really a message to the people that have been away from home for quite a long time and in many respects are a little bit confused as to where home is. Is your real home where you've made it the last 25 years? Is it your hometown? Is it where your mum and dad are? Is it where you feel happy? I think these are a lot of things that immigrants such as myself or expats like some of you get confused about. Anyway, have a watch of this.
Someday I would really like to go home. The exact location of this place I don't know, but someday I would like to go. There would be a pleasing feeling of familiarity and a sense of welcome in everything I saw. People would greet me warmly. They would remind me of the length of my absence and the thousands of miles I had travelled in those restless years. But mostly, they would tell me that I had been missed and that things were better now I had returned. Autumn would come to this place of welcome, this place I would know to be home. Autumn would come and the air would grow cool, dry and magic, as it does at that time of year. At night I would walk the streets but not feel lonely, for these are the streets of my hometown. These are the streets that I had thought about while far away, and now I was back and all was as it should be. The trees and the falling leaves would welcome me. I would look up at the moon and remember seeing it in countries all over the world as I had restlessly journeyed for decades, but never remembering it looking the same as when viewed from my hometown.
If anyone can tell me what kind of flower that is, I'll send you some bananas. going on a road trip, I've decided. Now, I want you guys to help me decide what kind of road trip. It can either be a big road trip just to see one spectacular thing or show you one spectacular experience. I'm thinking ferry down to Koh Samui, drive back. I'm thinking about a trip to the most isolated place in Thailand to see one of the most incredible sights that you can see here before it closes down for 2 months in 7 days time. Or I can do a content heavy road trip to a new area. I can do a train road trip where I get the train and just stop at places like that. Let me know what you guys would like to see, and particularly you, Bruce. What would you like to see? I've got $500 to do a road trip. Let's make it a memorable one, and I really want you lot to help me decide where to go. Call it an interactive road trip if you like, and I'll give you a few decisions on the way. Please let me know in the comments below, even if you haven't commented before. Just let me know where you'd like to see me go. It can be a one-word answer. Or shall we go right back to the roots of this channel and I'll go and rent a saleng, you know, one of those freewheel things that workers ride about on here, and we'll go and do a little tour. We'll do a coastal tour or something like that. Anyway, do let me know.